How's it going, everybody? I am the Texas Man. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or live streams coming out here on the Texas Man channel. Also, make sure you guys head over to Twitch and follow me at Douglas447. Again, that's on Twitch 447. I do streams and whatnot there from occasion. This is still my primary channel, but I'm doing some Twitch streams so you guys can see some better quality of the video and me at the same time. So make sure you guys are following me there so you guys don't miss out on those. With that, of course, we're talking about Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 9, Old Friends Not Forgotten. And this episode was a roller coaster. I've watched it 4 times now, and I still enjoy every single second of this episode. It's an amazing episode from start to finish. I'm going to do things a little bit differently with this episode. I'm going to talk about a couple negatives, and then I will talk about all the positives. This was a phenomenal episode. There's only a couple things I want to nitpick at that kind of just irritate me, but they're not going to are not going to hurt the score. So first of all, there's no opening crawl, there's no opening message like every other Clone Wars episode normally does have. So that's kind of a disappointment. I understand that this episode is part of the Siege of Mandalore and it's leading into Revenge of the Sith. But I just kind of missed the opening. Also, the music for this was different, normal, from the Clone Wars show that we're used to hearing, so I don't know why they did that. Like, why did they have to change the music? Did not like that. Also hated the trick of possibly things being run from Star Wars Rebels show. Um, I mean, I understand that she probably wasn't even alive during this time, especially not at the age of this one character that we think we see. I was like, this might be her, but that would really be weird. So I hated that little trick. And then lastly, for negative, this episode ends abruptly. It just comes to a head, like Darth Maul just says to Ahsoka, I was expecting Kenobi, why are you here? And I understand that this is part one of an arc, but it feels more like it's part one of a movie. Like, I feel like because this episode is almost half an hour long, that I feel like the Siege of Mandalore is going to be a 2-hour gigantic finale, and they broke it up into 4 parts. It's just weird how it ended. Like, it's getting right into Ahsoka and Maul fighting, and it's just the episode ends abruptly, and I'm like, okay, that was weird. Um, all right, so let's talk about positives. There's so much in this episode I want to talk about. So if there are things in this episode that I don't talk about and mention, don't be mad at me, but I'm going to do the best I can to cover everything that happened. This episode is filled with jokes. There's a ton of amazing action and storyline crammed into this 29-minute episode. Amazing action, especially with Ahsoka with her lightsabers. She does get her lightsabers. They're not the white kyber crystal kind of ones from Rebels, and she doesn't get her yellow or green. She does get 2 blue ones like you see in the trailers. So, but it was still cool to see her with lightsabers again. The biggest takeaway from this episode is it leads right into the events of Revenge of the Sith with the Battle of Coruscant at the beginning of episode 3, and it explains where Ahsoka and Rex and everyone else is in the galaxy when Revenge of the Sith is taking place. Like, the Siege of Mandalore and Revenge of the Sith coincide with each other. We also get to see clone troopers with jetpacks and missiles. Obi-Wan actually ends up cutting a missile in half and saves Cody from being killed, which is really cool. Like I said, this episode explains where Ahsoka and Rex are, and Maul especially, during Revenge of the Sith. And because of these things and the fact that Ahsoka is not part of the Grand Army of the Republic, Rex has to be promoted to commander status. That way Ahsoka can go with the 501st, part of the 501st, to attack Siege of Mandalore with Bo-Katan. We also get to see a little bit of General Grievous on screen. Anakin ends up constantly using the Force to dodge incoming fire. We do get to see R2-D2 in this episode. C-3PO is not in it because that would be weird because he's supposed to be on Coruscant with um, Senator Amidala, aka Padme. So it was cool to see R2-D2 again, even though he really doesn't do all that much. It's cool to see that he's still around with Anakin. Um, this episode also pokes fun at the fact that Darth Maul doesn't die. Like, Obi-Wan cut him in half in The Phantom Menace, and he still survived. And so everyone's like, capturing him is going to be a lot harder, because he seems to not stay dead. So this episode had a lot of jokes. Um, this episode also proves again how stupid the droid army is. Amazing animation, amazing music. You get goosebumps, not only because you're invested in the characters, but the music also draws you into what's going on. It gives you that atmospheric happiness and disturbance because although you're happy to see all these characters reunited again, you also get the realization that Order 66 and the Jedi Purge and everything is coming very, very soon. I enjoyed that the clones end up painting their helmets and they kind of look like Ahsoka's face, so that was a cool honor and respect to what Ahsoka has done in the show for the clones and whatnot, and that was really cool. Also, Gar Saxon from the Rebel show is in this episode, and he's basically in charge of all of what remains of Death Watch under the command of Maul. And then, of course, we get to see the Siege of Mandalore begin. Maul shows up at the very end with the big cliffhanger. And then, last thing I want to talk about is that Ahsoka and Anakin, Anarex and Obi-Wan, everyone gets together. But the scene, and you can watch the scene by itself online if you guys don't want to watch the whole episode, which I highly encourage you guys to watch the whole episode. It's amazing. But I honestly cry a little bit. And I cried the first time and I still cry. And it's an emotional scene because I grew up watching Clone Wars and I've watched Rebels. The emotional connection that I have with Ahsoka and Anakin is amazing. And this episode, I might be wrong, but at the time of me making this video, this is the last time we're ever going to see Ahsoka and Anakin again on the same side. Where they're friends, where they're allies, where they're master and apprentice. We're not going to see that ever again. Anakin and Obi-Wan get called to Coruscant, and it leads right into Revenge of the Sith. Ahsoka and Rex and the rest of the 501st, they get sent to Mandalore, and it's a wow moment. How they did it with the facial animations and whatnot, and Ahsoka tells Anakin, it's like, good luck. They don't say, may the Force be with you, because, that's been cliched to death. Ahsoka's like, good luck. And Anakin's like, and I'm like, it's sad to know that eventually Anakin does become Darth Vader, and Ahsoka will remain Ahsoka. And if you've watched Rebels, you know that they will end up meeting up again, but it's not Anakin and Ahsoka, it's Darth Vader and Ahsoka. And things don't go well in that fight. Wow. I am so excited. I am so stoked for the next 3 episodes. We've got 3 more episodes, guys. The last one does air on May 4th, so be aware of that. If you guys do have Disney Plus, it does end on May the 4th. Be with you. It doesn't end on that Friday week, so they're releasing the second to last episode on May 1st, and then on May 4th they're releasing the series finale. So I'm really excited. I don't know how this is going to all go down. I mean, I know which certain characters live and primarily which ones are going to die just because, Rebels came out before this season. So I kind of have a good idea of what's going to happen. But seeing how it all plays out, seeing how all the loose strings are going to come together and how this show is going to come to a head, I'm so excited. I am so stoked. So with that, guys, I'm giving Clone Wars Episode 9 of Season 7, Old Friends Not Forgotten, a 10 out of 10. This is Clone Wars at its best, guys. If you guys have skipped the Bad Batch story arc, perfectly acceptable. I would consider watching at least once to get an understanding of Ahsoka, where she is before this starts up. watch those. And I also highly encourage you guys to, watch it, because although the Rafa sisters are kind of irritating, it's more about Ahsoka learning what people think of the Jedi Order outside of being in the Jedi Order, if that makes any sense. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.